Should you build an outdoor home climbing wall? Or should you build an indoor home climbing wall? In this video, we're going to talk about the benefits and the drawbacks of either one so you can better plan your home climbing wall. Let's get into it. So first we're going to talk about the outdoor home climbing wall. Right before we get into all of that though, a quick introduction to myself. I've been building climbing walls for a while. I built my first home climbing wall in I'm pretty sure it was the fall of 1995, somewhere in there. And I've been building climbing walls ever since. Not full time. I have been at times of my life building climbing walls full time. But I know a thing or two. I have built climbing walls outside. I have built climbing walls indoors. So there's a little bit about myself. Now, I live in a very humid climate. In the winter, it's cold. In the summer, it's hot. Today, it was the heat index was, I believe, 100 degrees. And the humidity is, if you cannot see it sticking to my face, and up in the sky, like I can look at the trees and I can tell, like, I don't know if it looks blurry to you, but that's not because I have an awesome camera. I don't. That's just because it's crazy humid. So when you are building a climbing wall outdoors, you need to keep that in mind. The environment that you are in is going to be what you're climbing in. So on a hot day like today, if I had an outdoor climbing wall, like so let's say a bouldering wall where I can go and train, I am going to have a lot of motivation to get out there and climb on it. And I'm most likely not going to climb on it for very long unless there's something like really, really specific that I'm training for. And that's going to diminish the quality of your climbing wall experience for your home climbing walls. Most people aren't going to be, so motivated that you're going to get out there on these hot days like this. So look at the climate that you're in. For me, the really hot days and the really cold days, the rainy days, I'm not going to be using the outdoor climbing wall very much at all. So there's the biggest drawback to having an outdoor climbing wall. Now, one of the benefits to having an outdoor climbing wall is the space. You are not really limited in the space. If you have a really small backyard, then I guess that would be your limiting factor on that. You can typically build them fairly high. For most people, building a climbing wall that's as tall as your house, like a 2-story house, that's pretty tall. So I wouldn't consider that a limiting factor on height. I don't know if you guys can hear those cicadas, but we've got cicadas right now and they're really making a noise. Those are the biggest drawback and the biggest benefit to outdoors. Now, something else that you got to think about outdoors is you need to be able to protect your climbing wall from the elements. How are you going to do that? I've seen a lot of people where they use a tarp. You could also build an awning. You could use the climbing wall itself, the structure of that, to build a roof if you don't have to worry about snow load. If you're in an area that you have to worry about snow load, you're going to have to take that into consideration as well because, well, you don't want your climbing wall to collapse because of the snow load. It couldn't do it, especially if you're climbing on it. So those are some things to take into consideration. When you are building it outdoors, the material that you're going to be using is you want to use treated lumber. I would also recommend using treated plywood. The plywood, there's some of the plywood that's out there in moisture, it just gets destroyed. And the worst stuff that I've ever seen, it has a pink glue in between the laminates. So if you're building an outdoor climbing wall and you see pink glue in between the laminates, do not get that plywood. I would actually recommend staying away from that type of plywood altogether. Now let's go ahead and talk about indoor climbing walls. This feels so much better in here. If I were to build an indoor climbing wall, I would be a lot more motivated to climb on that wall because I'm in a comfortable environment. Even though it's a little bit warmer in my home right now than usual, because we're going through a heat wave right now, we've turned our AC up. So we are cranking hard right now. It's 80 degrees inside, but this feels so nice. It's like walking into an ice box. Plus, I would be able to have a lot more options for the fall zone and being able to keep that protected without having to worry about it being destroyed in the weather. My climbing wall material doesn't have to be rated for outdoors, and it's going to last a lot longer. Now, the drawback is, of course, the space. Right now, I'm in a room that we have dedicated in my house for learning. I have a few kids, and we homeschool those kids. This is our library where we get to come in and pick up a lot of books. You don't see most of the books here. They're along this wall over here. But that's what this space is for. So to build an indoor climbing wall, you have to make sacrifices for those spaces that are already there. If I had married a climber like I thought I was going to when I was a young lad, this space right here would have a climbing wall. This is our living room. But I didn't. And I am very grateful for the woman that I married, just as a side note. So like most people that will be building an indoor home climbing wall, I will be resorting to this shed facility kind of building that doesn't have air conditioning, but it does have a roof and some walls. And even with the space constraints, I'm still going to build it here because it's going to be able to protect my investment for much longer. And you can turn on a fan and cool it down a lot more than if you were outside, especially if you are in an area that doesn't have humidity like it does here. Can you see it on my face yet? You can probably see it on my face. It is humid out here. I also have the opportunity to put in an AC unit and cool it down even more. I wouldn't run it all the time, but while I'm out climbing or right before I come out to climb, I could just come out, turn on the AC unit, drop the temps a little bit, and then come out and climb. Way better than if it were outdoors. Now, if you want to build a home climbing wall, but you don't know where to start, I sell climbing wall designs online. There are how-to guides on building climbing walls. Most of them are self-supporting, if not all of them. Actually, all of them are self-supporting. Wow, that's awesome. So you could build it in a place that you're renting and you cannot attach or make structural changes. And it's something that you could disassemble and take with you. Although I don't have anything that's easily disassemblable right now, but I am working on some of those designs. So go to climberdad.com and check out those build plans. There's also some other great deals. If you like working out, check out Mujo. That is a cream that it's changing my life right now. I love that stuff. And I'll have a discount code on my website for that as well. climberdad.com. I hope that this helps you decide what to do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time right here on Climber Dad.